My name is Jennifer Henderson. I'm from Atlanta, Georgia, and I currently live in New York City. It's quite an interesting story of how I've took the step of making the leap of leaving my state. All of my family's in Georgia. I never imagined myself leaving home, but I always said I wanted to at least live outside of the state and challenge myself to do it on my own and see what that experience would be like. And I moved to Texas for the first time, getting into the medical device field, or the pharmaceutical sales industry. That's where I
Nice.
started. And then I went to Seattle, and I'm in New
Very
York.
nice.
So
Very nice. How do you like the
loving
transition
it here.
from pharma to medical sales?
It's been amazing. So for pharmaceuticals is more, there's a lot more restrictions and you don't get really the patient interaction. For me, for pharmaceutical, it was an awesome industry. Loved it. But for me, medical advice fit a little bit better as far as being able to talk to the patient, follow them through their experience and know whose life I'm actually impacting. And so that was the biggest difference for me, being able to have that patient touch.
Awesome. Very nice. That's amazing. What is it like to be a sales rep in New York? I mean, with the traffic, are you taking like the subway or what? How are you getting to work every day?
Oh my gosh. So I moved to New York at the beginning of this year in January. So I've been here now for a little over 3 months. And I would say the biggest change is the commuting, because when I I cover Manhattan and I also cover Staten Island.
Nice.
And going to Manhattan, I'm taking the subway. I have been lost multiple times.
I couldn't imagine being a sales rep in New York. I think that's like so cool though. Like it's a really different level.
It is. You get to walk around in the city and make a few stops throughout my appointments and see people rushing around really quickly. I mean, I walk much faster now because apparently in Manhattan, like if you're walking too slow, people get upset. So
wow.
I've gotten a lot of steps in throughout the day and meeting my goal a lot faster.
Wow, that's amazing. So how did you exactly break in? I mean, did someone tell you, or you doing a little research or college, or how did you hear about this?
Mm-hmm. So I kind of had the non-traditional experience, right? I went to college, went to Georgia State University, and 3 years into college, I decided to think of the bright idea of, I'm doing a business right now, I'm going to drop out of school. And so I dropped out of school a year before graduation, and I started my business. Nice. And it was one of the best experiences, because I think it was really good that I had that opportunity to experience it. But in order for me to get a job in the career, I had to have a degree. And so I went back to school. I finished. It was quite a journey, but I did it. I was so proud of myself.
Amazing.
Thank you. Yeah. But throughout that, the last year of me graduating, I knew I need to look for a job. And I had been volunteering for an organization in Atlanta. They're actually national, but I was volunteering for the Atlanta chapter for their marketing, and everyone seemed so happy. Oh my gosh, everyone in the organization seemed happy. They were doing well in life and all of that. And I just kept wondering, like, what do they do? And so I asked one of the individuals who was over like our membership team. He said, "Oh, most people are in pharmaceutical medical device." And I'm like, "What's that?"
Yeah.
And so, because I had never really heard much about it. And so he helped me. And I think that's the biggest thing, is having someone, especially like you, Zadous, being able to, help someone navigate through the process. Because when you're going through the process of interviewing for a medical device role, you have to have your things in order, because they're looking at you as if, okay, if this is how you handle this interview, this is also how you handle our customers. Right. And so I had to learn about a brag book. This is this book that you have that has all your accomplishments and things you do in the community, not just about your sales performance, but also about the things you do in the community. They want to know who you are.
Right.
And so I put that together with the help of the person who was, helping me navigate the process. And I went to a conference, went around to all of these different booths, trying to get a role, trying to just find my place in the industry. And everyone kept saying, you need experience. And I'm just like, well, who gave the opportunity to the person who didn't have experience?
I like the way you think. See, that's why you were an entrepreneur at first. See, look at there.
Oh my gosh.
That's smart thinking. See, that's why I said, guys, appreciate this time with Jennifer. She is really humble about her position in medical sales, but she's really, 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 really high up there in she's definitely one of those people you want to watch in career-wise and follow her steps for sure. So that is amazing. So I like the way you think. So continue the story if you don't mind. I'm sorry I cut you off.
Oh, no problem. And so, yeah, I went around to each booth and I just kept following up. And I would say for anyone, success is in the follow-up. People remember the drive and the commitment that you put into it, because again, they're looking at it as, if this is the work that you're going to put in up front for us, this is also the work you're going to put in for our customers. And so, it's interesting because every person at the booth, I knew the company that I wanted to get. So I went to the booth, and every single person there, I got their contact information, email, LinkedIn, whatever I could get. And I would just keep checking in on them. Hey, this is Jennifer. We met at the conference. It was great meeting you. I'm looking forward to learning more about the role that we talked about. I went ahead and applied. Any suggestions you to talk, just making sure I just stayed on top of things, checking on one of the managers who had surgery recently. Hey, how are you doing? I know you had surgery.
Wow.
Hope you're feeling well. And again, success is in the follow-up. I wanted to touch as many people as possible so that when my name came across the table, they would consider me, because again, I didn't have any experience. Also, the territory that was available, that I had never been in the area. I didn't know the territory. So there were two different things that were coming against me, not being in the industry and also in the territory.
Wow.
And so my rebuttal to that is interesting. During my interview, I said, they were like, well, you don't know the area. I said, well, GPS, I'm not concerned about that. I'll be able to find my way around. And then he said, well, you don't have experience. I said, well, someone gave you experience 20 years ago when you started. Someone gave you an opportunity 20 years ago when you started. All I'm asking is that for that same opportunity, and you won't regret it.
And your follow-up skills. Wow, that's amazing. Girl, you're meant to be here. Look at you.
Thank you.
This is amazing. Yeah. That's great. So did you get that job, or?
I sure did. I got the job.
Wow, that's amazing.
I kept that same energy, though. I think that's the big thing. Keep that same energy that you put in at the beginning, and make sure you follow through with it throughout the entire process, throughout the entire tenure that you're at that company. You give your best every single day, because that's what you promised. And so it was a great experience. I've traveled a lot with the company. I have transitioned to medical device. I love the industry, and I would not be where I was if it wasn't for the people who put their time in to help me and guide me through the process.
Wow, that's simply amazing. Seriously, simply amazing. So would you say, you've obviously had a lot of experience in different types of sales or different type of medical sales out there. What would you say your favorite style? Like, is it more doctors, or you enjoy speaking to the patients more? Do you enjoy speaking to the facilities more? Who do you enjoy having conversations with when it's time to get your products across? What do you enjoy the most?
So I think it's a combination, but I would think the most rewarding part for me is the patient, because that's ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what it's always about. Yeah. And I think if we keep that focus of, it's about me changing this patient's life and giving them a device that is going to save their life or make their lives easier, then it makes every day and every interaction rewarding. It makes every challenge that I do to provide to providers, because sometimes they're so conditioned to what they know. And it's my job to make sure that those patients are properly represented, and they have the options, and the provider feels comfortable with it. So that's my job and my commitment to my patients every single day.
Wow. What would you say, or any advice you can give a rep out there to be as successful as you? Like, any advice or any tips you can give to reps out there that are listening that can help them step up their sales game?
I would say give it your all every single day. Like, even because in this role, when as sales reps, my manager typically lives in another state. And so I will only see my manager maybe once a quarter, maybe twice a quarter at most. And so you have to know that this is your business and to operate it as such. I'm not going to steal from the business. If this wasn't an expense, it shouldn't be expense. It shouldn't be expense, Right. And then also treating it as, okay, every single day I'm going to wake up and I'm going to give it my all, because this is my business. This is my territory, and I'm operating as such. And I will want anyone else that I were to hire to do the same thing. So I think it's just operating with integrity, and being very, very detailed and focused on hitting your goal every single day.
Yeah, that's amazing. And even if you're having a bad day, because you're having a positive attitude, law of attraction will continue to give you things to help you be successful or to maintain whatever you need to be successful out there. So that's a really good tip. And thank you for sharing that, because I will use that for myself. I guess you're right. I shouldn't expense at Starbucks then. So you're right. I'm like, damn, I need to give the Starbucks back. I'm just kidding. But it was a business meeting. I had to talk to myself. I mean, I had to prep myself up for
you know what?
With the doctor.
But you know what? That's the thing, though. Like, we do expense things where if I'm sitting down and doing some business planning, making some phone calls, sending some emails, and doing some work, then this isn't personal time. This is work time. Yeah. And so I think, because my manager and my leadership has done a really good job of helping us understand when it's a business expense and then when it's a personal expense. Like, if I'm with friends hanging out, then obviously that wouldn't be the case. But if I'm doing work and just doing work hours and I needed to eat because I'm not at home because I'm working, then, that's a business expense.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's great. Well, Jen, I know we're getting close to time. As I promised, I wouldn't keep you long. Is there anything else you would like for everyone that's listening to this podcast know, or anything else I didn't get a chance to ask you that you would like to share right now?
Yes. So I would just say, for anyone who's looking to get into the industry, is that, there's this cliche that it's hard to break in and you can't get into the industry. I don't agree with that. I didn't have a degree when I interviewed throughout the process. I didn't have a degree yet when I was meeting with everyone and trying to pitch myself to them. I think it's all about how you present yourself, which is why I also, I have a business as well. I think anybody who's in sales or anything, you should always have a side hustle or something that you're really passionate about, like your passion project. Mine is called J. Renee Speaks. You can find me on Instagram, J. Renee Speaks. Yes. And it's all about operating your life like a business. And so I think when we operate our lives like a business, then the trajectory of our lives change, right? We're more intentional about our money, our life, our job, our career, our businesses. Every single area of our life is leading with more intention. The relationships that we have, we're not just partnering with just anyone, because this is a partnership. This is something that is going to be up and to the right? And so if anyone would like to connect, I drop videos and tips and all the things there. You can connect with me there at J. Renee Speaks, and I look forward to connecting with you.
Absolutely. And just wanted to kind of go back to operating your life like a business. I think that is so amazing that you've created that platform, because I learned so many things as well when you put that out there. I was like, wow, you can operate your life like a business. You can, be intentional in everything you're doing, because again, that goes back to a law of attraction, you having what you want and you're putting your mind on it. And, also operating your life like a business, it shows that you have self-respect. It shows that you respect yourself enough to be disciplined. Even if you're lazy, at least you're disciplined. And operating your life like a business will continue to keep you disciplined as well. So anyone out there that is looking at ways to just better their life or just take it to the next level, remember, you are your own competition. You only compete against yourself. And, that's amazing. And I think everyone should follow her and follow that platform, because I really think that can really help so many people. And like myself, it's helped me. So again, we're grateful that you're giving that platform and opening yourself up to that to help others as well.
Absolutely. And Zadous, I just have to say, it takes one to know one. And I think that I admire you so much for the businesses that you've been able to build successfully, being the top rep in your company, and then being able to, in the medical device company, and then being able to you're a mom, and you manage so much, and then you still manage to have a life. Like, I salute you for all the things that you do. And if there's anyone who's managing their life like a successful, profitable Fortune 500 business, it is you, my friend. I am so grateful to be a part.
Thanks, girl.
I truly am. I'm inspired by your journey, and thank you for leading the way. So I really appreciate it.
Oh, I feel like it's not even leading. I think it's just more so meeting other women, and we're just connecting side by side, and we grow together, So I appreciate that. And so again, thank you so much for your time. Thank you everyone that took the time out of their day to listen to this podcast. I am so honored and grateful again. And I hope you have a great day, Jen.
You too. Thank you.
No
Bye-bye.
problem. Bye-bye.